I'm on TV, everybody. Look at me.
Fantastic.
Wow.
On TV, and we are live. Welcome. Hey, we are live. Now, I want to say this, Steve and everybody. It's hard for me to admit this, folks, but I'm going to admit that I'm a bigot. I went to the knee surgeon today, and when the doctor came in and spoke to me, I lost all faith that he could do my surgery. I never thought I'd be the kind of person that would hear an accent and feel like someone wasn't good enough to be a surgeon. But when he walked in and said, "Hey, boy, that knee been a-hurting?" I was the hell out of it.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online, and though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we've still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have some fun.
It's the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian John Floyd, plus funny songs from Andy Corwin, and a Patti melt from Patti Vasquez, and much, much more. Now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
I brought the TV back, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the show. This is a virtual comedy show. I'm Brad Tassell. We have an amazing show. We've got star killer headliner and my best pal, funny guy, John Floyd is here. Yay! And John, by the way, is from the South, which is why I did that. That's why I did that first thing. Although it's true, John, I did that opening just for you in the South, but it did happen today. When I went in to talk about getting my surgery, he really said, he goes, "So how's that there knee treating you?" And I almost said, "It's biting like a catfish with a truckload of mealworm, let me tell you." He also told me that he goes, "Look, I just got this a couple years ago. I got this my meniscus, and I got this same exact scope after I blew out my knee fishing. He was fishing. And he said he got the same surgery and he is back to 100%. And I said, "Now, do you have the number of the doctor that did yours?" Sounds like I need that guy, actually. That's like seeing the barber with the bad haircut. Do you want the barber with the bad haircut? So I don't think he was offended. Though, although suddenly the prognosis of walking within 2 years was 35%. So, okay. Well, okay, that's enough of that. So let's start with the big show. Well, has anyone heard any Chinese spy balloon jokes? Any?
Just 1,000.
I don't think there's any left. So the newest wrinkle is the Pentagon is now saying there were 3 other and more in the past spy balloons during the Trump administration and other times, which, again, I don't care. Not going to fault them or anybody because, I think it's all meaningless. The balloon thing is meaningless. What did the Chinese learn from the balloon intel that half of our country will panic, on the Q, the letter Q anytime. They will panic. We are scared. We are lazy. We are the quietest little scared kittens of the world, aren't we? Oh no, look at the balloon. My wife was in the shower when it went over. Oh no. I knows where me and Skeeter hid the meth lab. So I just think it's crazy. First of all, do y'all know this? China has over 260 spy satellites watching us and every inch of the United States. They can read a gum wrapper on the ground from a satellite. They don't need a balloon floating over slowly, And you know who has the most spy satellites? We do, watching China and everybody else. They also are following everybody every second on your phone. You're holding a Chinese phone that tells them everything about you. They also own 200,000 acres of farmland in this country, and they have already mined all the data there is. China has said they have the personal information of over 80% of Americans. Can you believe that? I mean, the point is, there are real problems with China. This balloon is the stupidest of all the problems. And the biggest problem with the balloon is all that happened was a lot of people didn't get their Ivanka Trump signature jewelry. You know what? I could have said that better. I could have said that better. But oh well, let's get rid of that. You're going to see that a lot today when I take these off. Okay. Well, that's enough of that crap, and I'm done with that. Hey, let's talk about the Grammys instead. Who saw the Grammys, everybody?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Not me. I didn't watch. The Grammys were presented Sunday, and there were some big surprises. The first was Madonna has blown up her face so much that Biden might have her shot down over the Atlantic. That, oh, my God, this poor thing. Why, Madonna? Why? She used to be so cute, and she would draw. You remember her lips were real thin, and she would draw them in with lipstick. Now she has to moor them to a dock. That's how big those lips are. I know, that's probably sad. Sorry. Also, Steve, I would go with my brother.
I'm afraid to turn anybody off because I think it's you.
It's not me. I guarantee it. Okay. Well, it's done anyway. Hey, also at the Grammys, Harry Styles took home Album of the Year, and he thanked David Bowie and Prince for being dead so his crap could win.
No.
Lizzo won for Record of the Year, and she gave the most beautiful, heartfelt speech in her acceptance for her win. And at the end, did a beautiful tribute to Beyonce for her role model, being her role model. Lizzo said that Beyonce, Lizzo was so thrilled because she watched Beyonce as a small child on the TV. Isn't that great? Mm-hmm. And Beyonce, for her part, looked touched and said, "You loved me since you were a child?" Then the queen bee turned to her closest bodyguard and said, "Kill her." Because she's getting old. The Beyonce's getting old. Okay, let's see. What's next? Oh, I forgot to take Skeeter and the meth lab off. Ben Affleck. Hey, one more Grammy joke. Ben Affleck spent his entire time at the Grammys acting like a 10-year-old forced to watch a high school production of Les Mis. He was just frequently scowling and pouting boredly during the performance. I know how you feel, said every person who ever watched Affleck in The Accountant. That movie sucked. Okay. I'm not a big fan of Ben Affleck. You ever get that? Oh my gosh. For Valentine's Day, Cracker Barrel is offering a chance to win free food for a year. Right? Have you seen this? Anybody? They just have to post themselves getting engaged at Cracker Barrel and post the happy moment on Instagram with the hashtag still first cousins.
Oh!
Cracker Barrel. That's kind of sweet. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol found a skull of a dolphin inside a piece of international luggage that was scanned coming into Detroit Airport. Skull of a dolphin. Wildlife smuggling is illegal and taken very seriously in the United States. And the skull would not have been found, but eagle-eyed agents thought something looked suspicious in the suitcase hiding under 10 machine guns and a pipe bomb. Those are fine. Bring them in. Bring them in. I'm whipping through this today. Whipping through it.
Whip it good.
Whip it good. Hey, by the way, February 2nd was Groundhog Day. I didn't see everybody. And Puxatawny Phil came out, saw his shadow, and another 6 Tom Brady retirements.
Yeah.
Tom Brady can take it. Ooh, that was number 9, by the way. And there's only like 13 or 14. Here we go. Hey, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is this Sunday in Arizona between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles at State Farm Stadium. State Farm Stadium, so named because it was built over the place they buried the original Jake in his khakis. Like we need a new guy. Kill that guy. Okay. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know why? Anybody know why they got the new Jake?
No.
Don't know why.
No.
Don't know why? Because the original Jake was actually an employee at State Farm. And they were going to do a series of commercials and he couldn't act. He's a They needed somebody who could act, so they got an actor. Okay, sorry. The real thing, not near as funny as him being murdered and buried. By the way, that is the only Super Bowl joke because I don't care. I didn't even know the teams involved till I heard them on the radio today, and then I heard the State Farm thing, so I could make up the State Farm joke. So good luck, football. Okay. Hong Kong, wow, did y'all see this? Hong Kong has made Disney remove a recent Simpsons episode where Lisa says, "Behold the wonders of China, Bitcoin mines, forced labor camps where children make smartphones and romance." That's what Lisa says. The country says that they cannot play such horrible propaganda, especially to their impressionable youth who have already had a tough 14 hours in a factory.
Yeehaw.
kind of a low key week.
Little dark.
Little dark. And we're done after this one. Last one. Can you believe it? It's only been like 5 minutes. Yeah. Usually it's 12 or 13 that people are staring at me. Here it is. There you go. That was an uncomfortable laugh. Made me sad. Ticketmaster is hoping to avoid the huge chaos that ensued when they screwed up the sales of Taylor Swift's tour as Beyonce is about to go on the road. The ticket buying site has now created step-by-step instructions for you to get your tickets. First, you must be a verified Beyonce fan. Verified. Then, once you do that, you will get a special code. And lastly, you will pay $2,000 to the scalpers they really sell the tickets to. That was it. Come in, Steve. That was kind of a low key kind of week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Bam, bam, bam. That's nice.
We love it. It's done.
For almost 3 years, I've been begging you. Give me a tight 4.
Yeah, that was tight. Yeah, it was tight 9. I think.
Fantastic. All right. Time to move on to the next thing. But before we do, I want to point out tonight is our 144th episode.
Really?
I don't know if you noticed that. When I played the opening thing, it
That's
went like
gross.
this.
Let's see it.
See that? Episode 144.
Wow.
Oh.
And Sideways Eric is exactly right. It's a gross. That's why tonight's top 10 list will again be preceded by this.
Hey, this is gonna get pretty gross.
Because it is. It's not going to be quite as gross as you might expect, but it's not going to be for everybody. So,
Okay.
anyway, here we go.
We are prepared.
You can log yourself. Oh, yeah, I got to do the thing.
Do the
Here comes
thing.
As you're probably aware, Punxsutawney Phil did, in fact, see his shadow on Groundhog's Day, and we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. Yay! Tonight's top 10 category is top 10 good things about 6 more weeks of winter. Let me say that again. Top 10 good things about 6 more weeks of winter. Number 10. There's nothing good about it. This sucks. And that was pretty much the end of the list until about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Number 9. I can put off trying to start my lawnmower, which definitely won't start, for 6 more weeks. Number 8. Nah, there's nothing good about it. This sucks. Number 7. Pumpkin spice lattes. No, wait, that's over. There's nothing good about it. This sucks. Number 6. Chattering teeth and multiple layers of flannel confuse Chinese spy balloons.
Could happen.
It could. These are the top 10 good things about 6 more weeks of winter. Number 5. Applebee's penguin poppers, which suck.
Without saying.
A little afraid.
Number 4. There's plenty of snow and ice in Minneapolis, and that's where I'll be the weekend of March 10th for the MarsCon Convention of Nerds, and where I'll be premiering my new show, Al, the Weird Tribute, and how Daniel Radcliffe got mixed up in this nonsense.
Wow. Already?
Good title.
Yep.
But that won't suck.
Number 3. Mittens are a good look on a 57-year-old as he drives to Minneapolis for the MarsCon Convention of Nerds to premiere his new show, Al, the Weird Tribute. Up in this nonsense.
Like it.
Number 2, hockey is fun, and I hear George Santos taught Wayne Gretzky everything he knows. And the number 1 good thing about 6 more weeks of winter, one word, snotsicles. That was the gross part.
So what is MarsCon?
Oh, don't you know? It's this convention of nerds up in Minneapolis every March. And I've played there several times, and I've been invited up again this year. And I will be, well, not exactly premiering, because I didn't tell you this, Brad. I had a select group of about 8 people at my house this past Friday, and I ran through the show for the first time. Oh, it was a stumble through. It was a mess. It was a nightmare. But I had to start somewhere, and I've got a show with a beginning, middle, and end, and now I've just got to fix everything.
How long is it?
It's 40 minutes.
That's perfect. The exact time. So
yeah,
you
so
are going to be ready for August.
Yeah. There's a lot to this. There's a lot.
I will not be ready.
Speaking of not being ready, but always
speaking of being ready,
musical and being brilliant, are you going to bring him in or am I going to bring him in?
Yeah, no, he's here.
Oh, it's Andy Corwin!
Yay!
My old
Hello there.
bandmate, Andy Corwin, star of stage, screen, and Esther.
Yay.
Yeah.
And that small library.
Yeah. So you know how it works, Andy. I'm going to play a little intro, then you're going to do a
actual
song.
size.
I have no idea what song you're going to do. Then I'm going to answer it with a song, and then you'll do another song. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do this.
It's our musical guest, Gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest, It's time for our musical guest, Corwin.
Woo. So I'm looking at everybody here. A few of the people that are here in the Zoom meeting look like they might be are old enough to remember the 20th century.
Yeah.
A few of you there. And I'm old enough to remember the 20th century. And you see, nowadays, I didn't watch the Grammys. Brad asked who watched the Grammys. I didn't watch them. Because usually, whenever I'm exposed to pop culture these days, I usually kind of go, yeah. Really? Yeah. Come on, really? People like that? So this is a song I wrote as a birthday present to myself when I turned 50. I don't have a single pierced body part. I don't have any tattoos. I'm at a step with everything that's state of the art, but I'm not singing the blues. Now you might call it old-fashioned, but I don't see it that way. I prefer to think of it as the cutting edge of passe. I'm no fan of computers, cell phones, or fax machines. Don't talk to me about HTML, 'cause I don't even know what that means. Call me technologically challenged, but spare me your dismay. 'Cause I'm content to live out here on the cutting edge of passe. I'm on the cutting edge of passe, keeping the modern world at bay, blazing a trail to yesterday. Hey, what more can I say? I'm a middle-aged cliche, and what's more, I like it that way. And I intend to stay on the cutting edge of passe. I still believe that folk songs can be a force for good, inspiring the masses to seek peace and brotherhood. You might choose to accuse me of naivete, but I'm prepared to take a stand on the cutting edge of passe. The cutting edge of passe.
Yeah.
Andy Corwin!
Yay! Woohoo!
All right.
Okay.
Easer.
Now I got to answer that, and the only way I can think of to answer that is to do a song that we wrote together.
Okay.
I don't have anything that has anything to do with that. But we've done this many a time. I performed this song on this show many a time, but never on the accordion.
Okay.
And if ever a song needed an accordion, it's this one.
It's this one.
When I was a young man,
Oh.
I set out to sea, a swashbuckling pirate I aspired to be. I was bold, I was eager, I was stalwart and stout. But we'd no sooner put out from port than I threw my back out. Look, Andy, I can play the accordion now.
I love it.
Oh, the first mate, he offered assistance to me, but no chiropractor he turned out to be. On that ship I could find no relief for my back, cause it turned out nobody the Advil remembered to pack. Singing yo-ho, maybe I was mistaken. This is a voyage I shouldn't have taken. Apparently, a life on the sea is no place for someone as chronically fragile as me. Sort of.
Rock it, Steve.
On the second day out, my misfortune did grow, 'cause I suffered from nausea, and boy to go, I sustained several bruises. I lost a gold crown, and the victuals and grog that they served just refused to stay down. Oh, I suffered all manner of infirmity, from migraines to hemorrhoids to ADHD. I was bloated and moody, my skin was a mess. If I didn't know better, I'd swear that I had PMS. Singing yo-ho, a professional sailor would sooner be keel-hauled than use an inhaler. Apparently, a life on the sea is no place for someone who's quite as neurotically, totally, hopelessly, chronically fragile as me. I'll stop there. Take it away, Andy.
It's a beautiful thing.
Now, Andy, take it home.
Oh my!
Take it somewhere.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, Myron Florin has nothing to worry about, Steve.
Thanks.
How many got that 20th century reference?
I didn't, but I could tell it was an insult.
You play the accordion?
Myron Florin, who was the accordion player on the Lawrence Welk show.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness!
Oh,
I remember him.
See, if I knew that, I would have gotten a bubble machine.
That's more than 19.
It's sad that I remembered it.
Okay, then, here's an autobiographical song, Steve, that you've heard once or twice. It's a true story. Some folks might describe me as a quintessential man. I'm branding cattle, mending fences, drinking coffee from a can. But you know, they're only half right. There's more to me than that. And when that spotlight hits the stage, I wear a different hat. I'm a cowboy by day, ballerina by night. I'm graceful as a dying swan, dressed in leather and chiffon. I ride the range all day, and then at night I leap and I twirl. A man's got to feel like a man, except when a man's got to feel like a girl. I learned a painful lesson. I now know what occurs when I put my feet in third position, when I'm wearing spurs. Ouch. Other cowboys mock me. I guess they find it hard to ride the trail beside me when I'm wearing my leotard. 'Cause I'm a cowboy by day, ballerina by night. You find me at the rodeos, wearing my capizios. Some folks think I'm schizophrenic, and Steve Goodie might be right. I'm a cowboy by day, ballerina by night. Sometimes I feel like John Wayne. Other times I feel more like Margot Fontaine. When I ain't at the saloon, I'm stretching at the bar. I am the most limber cowpoke that you've ever seen, by far, F-A-R-R-E. But I've got a problem, 'cause one day I'll have to choose whether to die with my boots on or in my silk toe shoes. 'Cause I'm a cowboy by day, ballerina by night. When my working day is through, I commence to pas-de-deux. Don't you? I ride the range all day, and then at night I leap and I twirl. A man's got to feel like a man, except when a man's got to feel like a girl. A yippee-yi-yo, plie.
The one and only Andy Corwin.
Woo!
Yeah.
You know, and toe shoes are a hell of a lot harder to wear than boots, let me tell you.
They are.
I've worn them.
The hair's coming along. That's nice.
Yeah.
I think it was 4 years ago I asked you to start growing that out. Doing a hell
It
of a
was
job.
more like 9 years ago, but
Maybe so.
yeah.
Andy Corwin,
How
where can we
short was
find
it
you?
then?
He was
It was
he's a
growing
flat
on
top.
inside. Yeah.
Got a flat
Where can we
top.
find
Oh my
you
God.
Kind of like a
Live,
chia
Andy.
pet originally.
Andy, where can we find you performing live in the next few weeks?
Oh, I'm going to be in California with the Limelighters next month. Actually, you can find me on limelighters.com, LIMELITERS. There's no GH. And the schedule is there. I'm going to be with the Limelighters, and I think I'm going to be doing a show or two, hopefully, with you here in Austin, Texas.
Yes, in
At the beginning of April.
late March, early. I think it's the end of March. Something like
End
that.
of March, we'll
Yeah.
be doing that.
MarsCon 2?
Nah.
Oh.
No, we're just keeping Austin as weird as we possibly can.
That's right.
Great.
That's
All
right.
right.
But
An actual size revival. Eh?
So,
yeah.
That's what's
All
happening.
right. Clap, everybody. Andy Corwin, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Corwin,
Now,
Oh, boy, it's time.
are you ready? Let's add him. Let's add the man.
Bring him on in here.
It's John Floyd, everybody.
Yay!
Hey, John, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What's your crew number?
246067.
So you've been with Carnival 21 and a half years.
More than that. And next
23?
month it'll be 24.
24. Wow.
24
they did
years,
not
yes.
hire many people between you and me because I'm 2'6" and you're 2'4". And
Wow.
now they go through hundreds of numbers a week, actually.
Yes,
So
they do.
yeah.
I think they're up into the millions now. It's like the national debt. It just keeps, going
Yes.
up and up and up and up
That
and
is
up. the
one
crew numbers.
long carnival.
Yeah, they are. No, they're Carnival right now is actually, they're going through high schools to see if teachers want to take a week off and be comedians. Fantastic. It's fantastic. So that is fantastic. Y'all know that John and I met on Carnival and worked the same ship for many years. And we were, ladies and gentlemen, we can announce it, in 2007, John and I were the top 2 comedians on Carnival Cruise Line for
That's
the
right.
entire year, everybody. Number 1.
Twice.
And
I think
twice.
twice. Yeah, at least that's what I put on my resume.
Yeah.
I was the bottom 2.
2 years.
Yes, Steve, what?
I was the bottom 2.
You were the bottom. I heard you were a bottom. Anyway, so okay. Well, John, we're gonna play a little intro, and then you just talk for 10 minutes.
All right.
All right, I love it.
Go.
It's time for a big headliner. Got some funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah.
John Floyd.
Wow. I don't think I can follow that. I'm having a good head. I don't know. That's weird. But anyway, y'all are talking about the Grammys. I didn't watch the Grammys either. And it's simply because I would have no idea who any of the people nominated are. Am I the only one? I mean, I'm like, who? I think they should make a special award show, a music award show for people like me who are over 50. Call it the Grannies, perhaps. they could give awards to Barry Manilow and Anne Murray. I don't know if she was still alive. Either way, an award for however you say that word. But oh well. Things are getting expensive out there. Over the weekend, I saw an infomercial. There was a guy promising that he could teach people how to buy a carton of eggs with no money down.
Oh, wow.
That's how bad things are, folks. I don't know. I was at the grocery store the other day. They had a banner over the front door that said on-the-spot financing. That's how bad things are. I think I've been getting in better shape, though, because just as I came out of the grocery store the other day, for the first time ever, I held $100 worth of groceries in just one arm. I was able to lift. Pretty proud of that. I don't know. I don't know. Are we supposed to blame Biden? I don't know. I feel bad for Biden. Here's it. Poor Biden. Think about it. 2 years ago, when he was 78 years old, they came and picked him up at his house and moved him into this big, huge building. They unpacked all his stuff for him. Now they have his schedule all day long. They feed him. They clean up after him. They tell him where to go. They drive him everywhere to go. The man probably thinks he's in an assisted living facility. Oh, most presidents sit around and wait for their daily briefing. He's waiting for his daily Jello every day at about 3:30. And tomorrow night is the State of the Union address. Joe's excited because it's the one night a year he gets to stay up after 7:30. Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna blame Joe. I wouldn't want his job. But everything's expensive. It is. I mean, it's just crazy. And nobody takes cash anymore. Everywhere you go, they almost act mad at you if you try to pull out cash. They're like, card only. They yell at me like I'm, Charles Ingalls going to the Olson's Mercantile trying to buy a pound of coffee with a squirrel fur or something like that. It's just it's ridiculous. Thank you if you got that reference. You are old if you got the Olson Mercantile reference there. By the way. If they do take cash, they never have any change. I mean, where did all the coins go? I don't believe for 1 second there's a coin shortage, but they say, oh, we don't have any change. And then they always say, do you want to round up to the next dollar? I'm like, no, I want to round down to the last dollar. How about that? They never give it an option. I was buying a cup of coffee at a famous coffee place not too long ago. I won't say the name of it, but it rhymes with Jarbucks. Anyway, I bought just a regular cup of coffee, nothing fancy. It was $4.99. As if that were not bad enough, I gave the guy a $5 bill. He had the audacity to say, "Do you want your penny?" What's the key word? That my penny. Yes, I want my penny. Or no, let me let the $1 billion corporation keep my penny and have me more money than they already did. Oh, I tell you what, I don't know. Oh, well, I was at another famous restaurant not too long ago. I won't say the name of it, but it's another word for slightly cold. Chili's, come on, people.
Okay, got it. Chili's.
Yeah, you figure that one out. I ordered a bacon double cheeseburger. The waitress said, "How would you like that cooked?" I said, medium rare." She said, "Oh, we have to cook it at least medium well for health purposes." I'm like, "Okay, I just ordered a piece of dead pig on top of 2 pieces of dead cow. Do you think I care about my health? Seriously, lady?"
Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead and cook that thing well done. Maybe my cholesterol will drop 200 points after this eating experience. All restaurants crazy. I was at Hardee's has signs at their drive-through saying, "Please have your money ready when you get to the window." Well, please have my food ready when I get to the window. How about that for a change? You do your taxes in the time you're at the Hardee's drive-through. I eat out a lot. I love Five Guys. You like Five Guys? Oh, they make a good burger, but they're expensive. I mean, even before inflation went up, they were expensive. I think that's why they call it Five Guys, because even if you go by yourself, you feel like you just paid for Five Guys. Seriously. I'm looking at my receipt going, did I agree to pay it forward to the basketball team behind me? What in the world? Oh, I had an interesting experience at a Popeye's fried chicken not too long ago. I pulled up to the drive-thru. The guy came over the intercom. He said, "Hi, I'm Chad. What can I get you?" I don't need to know your name at the drive-thru. I tell you what I want to eat. I give you the money for it. You give me the food. That is the end of this relationship, seriously. But I had to mess with him. I got up to the window and I was like, "Oh my God, are you Chad?" Hey, I'm John. We just spoke a few seconds ago at the intercom, remember? It is so nice to finally meet you in person, Chad. That's all I thought you'd be. The lottery, of course, y'all know, got up to $2 billion a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if y'all saw this. The day of the drawing, they were interviewing people standing in line to buy tickets, asking them what they would do with the money if they won that $2 billion. One man said he would get a new transmission for his car. I'm not making that up. Seriously, people need help, y'all. Let me tell you, I have never owned a brand new car. I think I've been listening to Dave Ramsey too much. I don't know. But if I won $2 billion, not only would I get a new car, but I would hire George Gray, the announcer from The Price is Right, to ride shotgun with me and every few seconds yell out the window, "It's a brand new car." Crime is getting tough. I tell you, Brett, I had to go out and hire a guard dog not too long ago. You want to see a picture? There you go.
Put it in the camera. No, where are you aiming at? There you go. Oh.
She will mess you up if you try to break into my house. I am in the right. I'm off of the right to bear arms. I'm not really a gun guy. I have a friend, and Brad, I'm not going to mention any names, but it's another comedian that you know. You might be able to figure this out. He already owned 37 guns. He just went out and bought his 38th gun. I said, "What in the world do you need 38 guns for?" He said, "I want to be able to protect my family if somebody breaks into my house." I said, "Dude, let me tell you something, okay? If somebody gets in your house and the first 37 guns you already had don't stop them, that 38th gun ain't gonna make a thing to him." I mean, Godzilla breaking into your house, apparently. I don't know. Now I got to show y'all this, y'all. So, I do a lot of cruise ships, like Brad was saying. And a couple of weeks ago, I was having lunch down in the crew mess with some other people from the entertainment department, just joking around. I took my napkin. I actually stole this napkin. This was it. I did it like this. I said, "Do I look like a gangbanger?" Without missing a beat, one of the male dancers that was sitting with us said, "Actually, you look like a Care Bear going to karate class." What do y'all think? Not a game. Am I not that tough? I don't know. How about now? I was shopping over Christmas. I was back home. I was at the mall. I bumped into this girl I went to high school with. Hadn't seen her in years. We're having a nice chat, catching up and everything. Then I said, "Oh, you had a brother that was about our age too, didn't you? What's he up to now?" She said, "Oh, well, actually, a few years ago, my brother killed 2 people in a holdup, and now he's doing life in prison." Oh. What do you say to that? The conversation is ruined. I tried to save myself, and I was like, "Oh, well, tell him I said, hey." As y'all can tell from my accent, I am from the South. I'm from North Carolina. A good friend of mine, he lives in Jackson, Mississippi. He thinks me being from the South makes me a Yankee, which kind of ticks me off. I don't know. Do I sound like a Yankee? I mean, I wish he was a casting director, but I was in Mississippi a while back staying with him. This is a true story. He and his wife are getting ready to take me out to dinner. They're trying to decide where to take me. He said, "Let's go get some fried chicken." I bet John's never had fried chicken before. I said, I've had fried chicken before. He kind of rolled his eyes a little bit and said, you've never had Southern fried chicken before. I was like, oh my gosh, please tell me to get some Southern fried chicken, because apparently I've been eating Northern fried chicken my whole life and didn't even know it. Northern fried chicken, because before they killed it, it was walking around the barnyard going, hey, cluckety, cluckety, cluck, cluckety, cluckety, cluck, for Northern chicken. We you gonna eat me? Get the cluck out of here. You're not going to eat me, huh? I'm buying that Southern fried chicken. I said, oh my God, you just gave me the vapors. I do declare. I did just go out not too long ago and get a Southern GPS system on my phone for my Siri. You can do this. I can do a little Southern accent on it, because my old Siri, she was just like so boring and precise and monotone. Like, go north on 995, 34.2 miles, then take exit 63, go left, go 4.6 miles. Your destination will be on the right. My new Southern GPS. She's like, okay, you're gonna go up yonder way till you get to Billy Joe's house, and you're gonna make a right. Maybe get to the Cracker Barrel. You don't go too far, Shug. Give me a meatloaf and some fried okra while you're there. I will leave you with this. What I love most about asking for directions is the South. The Southerners will give you directions based on where stuff no longer is. It's true. I was in Alabama one time. I got lost in this town I was in. Finally, I swallowed my pride, because men aren't supposed to ask for directions. I pulled over in the parking lot. A lady was standing there. I rolled down my window and said, excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me how to get to the highway? She said, okay, you know where the Wendy's used to be. So you really think I don't know where, if I don't know where a whole highway is, if I said, but I do know where a restaurant used to be? Seriously? That's it for me. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, man. Steve, where are you? Killer. John Floyd, everybody. Killer. That was 20 minutes and 10 right there, buddy.
No, it was 11 maybe.
Are you doing all that in your act? Because that is killer stuff. That's
It is.
You're whipping that stuff
not
out.
Not the part about the Grammys. I wrote that sitting here while y'all were talking about it.
No, of course. No, I knew that. But you could probably do that too next cruise too.
I might. Yeah.
No, great job, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So besides cruises, are you doing anything else these days?
Yeah, well, I've got a show this Wednesday night in at the Comedy Zone in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Ooh,
so
that's all right. Yeah,
pack the wife and kids, and come on up. Stay at the Motel 6 or the Motel 2.5, whatever they may have there.
Well, you work in the Comedy Zone. That's the best hotel you're going to get right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better. So, John Floyd, come on, everybody. Let's hear it. John Floyd. Come on a Carnival cruise near you. What ship you on next?
What's that?
What
the ship I'm on next is the lovely Liberty.
I love the Liberty. I'm on the Liberty. Wait, are you on there in March at all?
I think so.
March 13 through 17.
No.
Oh, damn. I'm there March, May.
I think I might be right after that, though. Like around the 20th, May. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I like it because it's 3 and 4 days. You get paid more. So that's
right. That's right.
All right. Keep it going. Clap for him, everybody. I'm going to get rid of him. Wait, I stepped away. Wait. Where's Patti?
She's right
here.
Oh, there
Shall I bring her in?
Yeah.
Here she is. It's Patti Vasquez.
Patti Vasquez.
Yay, Patti Vasquez.
Okay. Let's just jump in. Let's just do this.
Yeah, hi.
Okay.
It's time for a Patti Melt with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, to folks refusing to wear masks, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses. She's melting down. It's a Patti Vasquez, Patti Melt. Cooking food.
I am cooking food because we're trying not to order out as much during the pandemic. I think I've mentioned this before. We ate local, and local fries everything. So I need to cut back a little bit on sugar, potato chips, and French fries, and booze, and all the things that make me happy. But that's not what I'm here for. I have put on 30 pounds during the pandemic, and I was feeling bad about myself. And then I had a gig in Racine, Wisconsin over the weekend. You guys, I feel so good. Everyone, if you start getting self-conscious about your body, get yourself to Wisconsin. That's all I'm saying. I mentioned cheese curds on stage. People were fist bumping each other. And then there was an argument about the cheddar ones or the white ones or the ones with dill. I was like, oh my God, you guys, let's keep the show going. And then I mentioned that for my radio show, my sponsor is Minocqua Brewing. And I just threw that out there, and this guy goes, you mean those libs? And I was like, oh, look at the time. I gotta go. Let's just. There's a Supreme Court race going on. There's a primary for their Supreme Court in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is the most gerrymandered state in the country. They also have abortion laws that go back to pre-Civil War days. So not only did I get the Olson's Mercantile and Nellie with her pigtails a reference, by the way, I know that would be about what that's actually later than when these abortion rights were taken away. Anyway, so there's one of the candidates promised that if she becomes a Supreme Court justice, that she will help pass laws that you can have booze at a shooting range.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Because Wisconsin. Why? Plus deep fried cheese curds. What I'm saying is, I am so tired, you guys. I have for years gotten in arguments with conservatives. By that I mean my neighbors, about guns. I often talk about trying to end gun violence. I'm sorry if I just want to make sure that kids aren't slaughtered in their classrooms. But do you know what they say to me if I just mix up one letter combination, like an AR-15 or an AK-47? Like, you don't even know how to refer to a weapon. You can't have this conversation. Okay, we're not playing weapon bingo here. I got it. There's no such thing as an assault rifle. Okay, whatever. But here's what I know. After this past week, when there were Nimrods outside like J.D. Vance and their big bazookas and their guns saying, I'm going to shoot that balloon out of the sky. Yeah, I'm the one that doesn't know anything about guns. Yeah, let's keep going with that. Let's keep going with that. It's 11 miles up. The only thing you're going to hit is your neighbor in his overalls. Here's what I'm saying. As Brad mentioned earlier, not only were there balloons that were flying in our airspace under Trump, there were three of them, but nobody said anything. I wonder why that is. Oh, right. The jobs report on Friday. That's what happened. I'm sorry. Good night, everybody. I got to get back to my chicken.
Get back to your kitchen.
Chicken in my kitchen. I'm in my kitchen. My messy kitchen. Hi. Yes.
So where are you working in Racine these days?
I was doing the Moose Lodge.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Tell everyone how glamorous our lives are, people. The Moose Lodge.
That is fantastic.
I love that even the moose put on so much weight, they're getting lodged in things.
Yeah. I gained 10 pounds in Prague. So,
nice.
So, yeah. And I'm thinking of just keeping it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's the pragmatic thing to do.
That's it.
Thank you.
I got less hair and more gut. That was my Prague way. So
well done.
Well done. So no pretense. Have a great week. Okay. Thank you, Pat.
Well, Steve, are you coming through town when you go to Minnesota?
Yes, I'm going to message you.
Okay, excellent. Please do. And then you guys. And then for when you come through town, I don't have that gig anymore, those Thursday, Fridays at the Displays Theater and the Kata, because they were having an anti-trans event with Awake Illinois and Turning Point and all these groups. And I was like, we're done here. Yeah. But every Thursday, starting in March, every Thursday. So we'll work something out. I have another gig.
Excellent.
All right.
Yeah, I'll message you tomorrow.
I'll be listening. I'm just cooking.
Okay.
No one asked me to do those gigs, though.
I'm saying you too. Yes.
And not as an afterthought. That is totally not an afterthought.
I said you guys. Okay. Did anyone raise your hands if you heard me say you guys? Thank you. Thank you.
You meant John and him. So
she meant Bob.
All right. Bye, Patti.
Bye, Patti.
So
hey, what it's time for.
You're gonna do another song.
Yeah, it's time for that.
Okay. How about another dumb song from Steve for no reason?
There really is no reason. It's one of those few weeks when there actually is no reason, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I thought about it. Hey, I might do a song that Andy and I have done together that neither of us wrote. This is by our friend Ty Hager. It's simply called Pain. And this deserves some reverb. The slamming door broke his nose. As his tears fell, her laughter rose. But she's not completely heartless. She slid some tissue through the mail slot. She said, if you ever come around here again, I'll have you hurt. I have some friends who will happily break every limb that you got. Now he's starting to think she don't love him anymore. She yelled out the window as he got to the street. Here's your stuff, I've arranged it all so neatly. And she tossed it to him. But 11 floors can rearrange, and an unabridged Webster's can cause a lot of pain.
Oh, dear.
You took on the chin.
Oh.
Now he's starting to think she don't love him anymore. The feeling's gone, except for the aforementioned pain. Lost love hurts, but blood stains. He wonders if his life will ever be the same. He wonders how long the swelling will remain. Now comes the harmonica solo. Take it, John. Wow. First time. One more time around. He wonders if his life will ever be the same. He wonders if he'll ever breathe through his nose again. The papers arrived today. She's charging him with pain and suffering. He's starting to think she don't love him anymore. There you go.
Steve Goodie, Pain by
Oh,
who?
yeah. Steve.
Who wrote it?
Ty Hager,
Ty
Oklahoma's
Hager.
finest.
Beautiful. Okay,
I thought you might like
right
that.
here.
Hey, guess what? It's time to beg for money. You ready
That's
to beg
right.
for money?
Movie.
Here we go.
Brad begs for money. Hey, we need your money. We don't charge a cover or a 2-drink minimum, so what did you expect, Jack?
virtualcomedyshow.com. That's where you go and give us money so we can get John Floyd some real Southern fried chicken. And write a better joke for how to tell us what Chili's is, because I had no idea. The first one I got when you were like, something cold? What was that again?
I think the money should go to Brad's
Yeah, it's
education.
another word for slightly cold. a
Another word
restaurant.
for slightly cold? Chili's? No, let's work on that one. Let's workshop
That's
that
a
one
good
later.
joke.
We
That
all
was
got
the-
it except Brad. Don't change a thing, John.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
that was the greatest set ever, except that one. So anyway, send us money. And also, we need money because Patti needs more cheese curds. We got 6 more weeks of winter. We can't drop the weight yet. Feel better at the Moose Lodge. You wouldn't feel good at the Moose Lodge if you weighed normal weight, would you? So virtualcomedyshow.com, and we'll help Steve get up to Wisconsin to Mars Fest.
MarsCon, and it's in Minneapolis, but thanks.
MarsCon in Minneapolis on
Minneapolis.
March 10th, where he's going to do his brand new show. And of course, I need the money because I'm having a knee operation and I'm a comedian. And boy, that insurance is good. My deductible is everything. So, virtualcomedyshow.com. Give us some money. We'll split it up between the goofballs in this show. And I'm sure Andy needs some too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
No
do it,
doubt.
Steve.
Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Boo! That was the worst joke ever.
This show's been kind of laid back today. It's been fun. It's been good. Everybody's done a good job, but it's been kind of, doesn't everybody think that's a little laid back? All right. Well, hey, the worst joke of the week is brought to you by last week's worst joke. Here we go. The Pope, Anglican, and Presbyterian leaders have come out together to denounce anti-gay laws. Isn't that amazing? 3 of the religions. They made the announcement while together on the papal plane. That's right. That's an actual airplane, not the papal plane like of existence. They said being homosexual is not a crime. Yes, they're true. That's true. The laws are unjust, and the sin is criminalizing people with homosexual tendencies. And God loves all gay people. I think we can all, I don't care who you are, you can agree with that. Evangelical ministers were incensed and said they will stifle those voices just like they did all the young boys in their congregation.
Ooh.
I told you it was the worst joke.
And on that note, good night.
Hey, thanks for coming to the Monday Show. We're doing it on Mondays, now you know. So whether you're in Houston or in Buffalo, you should keep coming back to the Monday Show. We have a lot of fun on the Monday Show. It's better than sitting home playing with your toes or going to the dump to watch stuff decompose. We're always glad to see you at the Monday Show. We hope you enjoyed the Monday Show. You don't have to dress up, no, 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 no. You can be like Brad and go commando. And we'll see you next week at the Monday Show. We'll see you next week at the Monday Show. It's at www.virtualcomedyshow.com. That's right.
We're
Now,
done.
no longer live.